Hi and welcome to the Malat cookery channel. So in this video I'm going to be making green tomato chutney. So we've got a lot of green tomatoes left from the greenhouse. End of the season normally happens each year, and I'm just looking for new things to make with the unripe tomatoes that we end up with, and we end up with quite a lot. So I've taken this recipe off the internet, green tomato chutney. Hopefully it'll be a really nice recipe. I kind of figure that, this recipe uses about a litre of malt vinegar. I kind of think boiling off a litre of malt vinegar is going to smell, so that's why we're doing it outside. As usual, a full list of ingredients will be given at the end of the video, so let's have a look at those ingredients now and anything else we're going to need for today. So the ingredients for today, I've got a litre of malt vinegar, 150 grams of raisins, 500 grams of brown sugar. We've got a kilo of green tomatoes. We've got plenty more tomatoes, and this isn't even a third of the greenhouse that we've taken out today. So if you guys have got any ideas for recipes with green tomatoes, please let me know. So just to recap, I've got a kilo of green tomatoes there. Going to be using some salt and pepper to taste. Got a kilo of, well, we're supposed to have a kilo of red onions, but I only had 3 left in the fridge, so I'm going to have to add a white onion, but if you can get just red onions, fine. So kilo tomatoes, kilo of onion, 1 eating apple. I'm using about 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, so I'm cheating using ready-made stuff, but obviously you can use fresh, which will be a hell of a lot better. So first thing I need to do is take off the ends of the tomatoes, wash them and cut them into small pieces, and with the onions obviously peel these and dice as well. Right, so I've chopped up the green tomatoes and I've peeled and diced the onion. One thing I did forget to do, but I've done it now, is to peel, core and chop up the apple. So the next thing to do is we're going to get all this in a pan and start it simmering. Right, so we've got our litre of malt vinegar in a large pan over a low heat. Add in our tomatoes. Onions. You see, with a recipe like this, I would have lightly fried the onions off first, not burn them, but just to get them soft. So I'll be interested to see how this one goes. That's our raisins, sugar, apple, 1, 2 teaspoons of garlic, freshly ground black pepper, being quite generous with that because some of these recipes you add cayenne pepper or chili powder, so I just prefer the heat of black pepper for something like this. A bit of salt, not too much. You can always season, taste for seasoning again, which is what you should do anyway. So just going to mix this in, and then, as I said, over a low heat. So the recipe I took this from gives a cooking time of between 1 and 3 hours, so your guess is as good as mine. I'll probably come back to this after 2 hours and then see how it's going on with regard to softening up and reducing. Okay, come back in 2 hours. Right, so this is what we're left with now. This has actually been cooking for 3 hours. So the recipe said 1 to 3 hours. This is 3 hours, and I think it's got at least another half an hour left to get rid of more of this vinegar. The tomatoes and the onions really soft, so it's not a case that it needs cooking longer, it just needs to reduce. So if I try this recipe again, I mean, it smells delicious, it tastes delicious, so it is there, but I think I'll use less vinegar, possibly about 700 millilitres. I think a litre of vinegar was just overkill. But I mean, there's no way I thought this would look like this from what we started with. It's going to be an absolutely delicious chutney. So the light's fading now, which is why I'm filming this now and not in half an hour. So like I say, leave it half an hour and leave it to cool, and then tonight we're going to try it with some cheese and crackers. Right, so this green tomato chutney recipe, this is actually, I'm filming this now a week after I did the original video, the footage which you've just watched. I think I've not edited that footage yet, but I think I did mention a week ago that I was concerned at the amount of vinegar in this particular recipe, and that proved to be right. There's just too much vinegar in the recipe. So in the week since filming, I've done the recipe again. I've reduced the amount of vinegar, and now the recipe is absolutely superb. There's just too much vinegar in it for me, and as I said, I think I mentioned that as I was filming it. So I'm going to put the ingredients after this short clip, a list of the ingredients with the correct amount of vinegar. The rest of the recipe, absolutely superb. So I've just reduced the vinegar by half, and I've introduced 200 mils of water. So we've actually got 700 mils of liquid, not a litre that the original recipe is. That's obviously reduced the overpowering taste of the vinegar. The sugar has obviously become more prominent, and really that is what I'm used to with chutney, that it is almost like it is a bittersweet recipe, but there's more sweetness than bitterness. Please subscribe to the channel, and as usual, if you've enjoyed this particular video, hit the like button. Thank you very much for watching.